Hello Scorpio, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm going to be doing a general September reading for you. This is a new channel, so please, if you find this reading helpful to you, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I apologize for some of the clunky tech of these videos. I'm still learning and getting some help to make these fully accessible to you. So what do we have for Scorpio for September? I'm using the Shulton deck to do a modified horoscope spread. The 10th house is the Nine of Swords. The first house is the Death card. The fourth house is the Ten of Cups. And the seventh house is the Fool. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Jades, the Ace of Pentacles, a beautiful card, Scorpio, indicating new growth, new project, new inspiration, a new manifestation. So you are paying attention, you are directing and focusing on what you want to manifest in the material world. This is a beautiful card of comfort, security, stability, and abundance. The first house is the Death card. The Death card is in the house of the energy that you're bringing to your activities and your everyday movements. This indicates you are in a state of change. You are intentionally changing your behavior. You're recognizing that there are things in your life you need to let go of. They no longer serve you. They no longer suit you. They don't fit in with the things that your current interests or desires, and you're letting those things go. Someone or something could have ended in your life, and that ending is an opportunity for a new beginning here. So death is more than death. It's clearing away the field for new activity. So it's also birth. The fourth house is the house of your home, your past, your subconscious. The Ten of Cups. What a beautiful card that indicates a real sense of emotional and domestic abundance and stability. Your home environment comes from a place of safety and generosity. You feel satisfied. You feel a sense of completion and wholeness from your past, a sense of perfection, the way you are. And this is a beautiful card that really enforces the notion of change, as tens are the end of something, completion of this emotional stability and foundation in your life. It also clears the way and opens up to a new level. So you're getting ready to move up to something new. The seventh house is a house of significant others, relationships with people, self, organizations. The Fool card indicates, wow, as you're letting go of something, you are perfectly prepared to start something new. You're easily, I'm wondering how easy this letting go is as I look at the Nine of Swords here as well. So this card looks like within yourself, within your own being, you are perfectly prepared to release and start something new. You are prepared to go back to the beginning. 10 has been achieved, and now you're back at 0. You're ready to pay attention to everything as though your world is new. This can particularly impact a relationship with an organization or a group of people. I'm getting an audience here. So you're developing a new relationship. You've moved into a new role in your work where you are learning a new skill set and you're interacting with people, new people beyond what is familiar to you or even comfortable, with great confidence and attention. The 10th house is the way you see others see you, the way your social position, what your work life looks like, community. The 9 of Swords is the card that shows me that you have been worn out by a set of extremely challenging circumstances. You have been through the ringer. You have been at war in the world. So this also almost gives me a vibe of, for Scorpio, I want to say a cadre, not a military experience, but a highly disciplined environment. You have been subjected to a lot of rules that you have been able to comply with, but they have been destructive of your very soul. They have been extremely oppressive. And although you've made it, this looks like something that you are in the process of releasing. You are in the process of assessing and recognizing the incredible journey you've been through, that this discipline, this organization has allowed you to develop, but the ability to release yourself from that, to release yourself from the very rigid expectations of others that have formed you in such contrast to this very stable and safe environment, emotionally secure place where you've come from. So I do see a kind of reconciling here, or a change from one to the other, perhaps, and back again, but a very conscious desire on your part to move to something new. The Ace of Pentacles is still energy that's important to us. So I'm going to, I think, rather than do what I always do, which messes everything up, I'm going to cut the cards differently. So as we have the Death card in the first house, we have the 4 of Cups in the second house, we have the 8 of Wands in the third house, we have the Hierophant in the 5th house, we have the the Queen of Swords in the 6th house, the 3 of Pentacles in the 8th, the Page of Wands in the 9th, the 2 of Swords in the 11th, and the Ace of Cups, or the Page of Cups, in the 12th house. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords, Scorpio, is giving me, it's kind of reinforcing this sense of some kind of an unruly or chaotic group experience, organizational experience that you've experienced. This is an experience where winning was of the highest value. And Scorpio, this meant that others took actions that may have damaged you, and that you quite likely were also compelled to take actions in order to win that damaged others. So this card is giving me the sense of an environment, a hostile, somewhat hostile environment that you've been in. Hostile by design, in that the competition is meant to sharpen your skills, make you stronger, and make you better. Compete for the prize, competing for knowledge. And this has been really damaging, has been devastating for you. It's been very difficult. Although you've been successful in that environment, it's been at a tremendous cost to you. The second house, after the transformation, the change, the letting go that you've experienced, you are experiencing the first house. And Scorpio, this is something that pretty much comes naturally to you. Maybe the letting go is not so easy, but you certainly understand the process of letting go and allowing for the transformation with the Death card. The second house is the house of your possessions, your values, your body. And here I see you becoming a little bored with the way things were. Things are a little too structured for you. Coming out of this very secure and confident past in the fourth house, the Four of Cups shows me that you take for granted some of this generosity, warmth, confidence, and safety and protection that you've always received. You know how to provide that for yourself, and in many ways that is shoring up your ability to compete, to move in an environment where there's been a lot of activity, a lot of chaotic, unstructured activity. The third house is a house of your intimate communications with your siblings, family members, people in the neighborhood. The Eight of Wands shows that as part of a group, you have been able to make a tremendous effort towards a goal, towards achieving a goal. So this card indicates there has been a lot of communication. You are busy, and in whatever role that you were in here, you have learned a lot and created something formidable. Your progress has suddenly been swift and formidable. The Ten of Cups is that pleasurable, safe, comfortable environment that you've grounded yourself in, that you are established in your domestic life. The fifth house is those creative products, those children, those projects, those friends and lovers with whom we share our teaching, what we're learning. So the Hierophant is indicating that you are receiving a lot of intuitive downloads, a lot of guidance, not guidelines, but guidance from teachers, advisors, counselors, or mentors of whatever sort. And I do sense this is a mentor who is also a peer. And in fact, it is quite possible that your peers are where you've established some of this comfort and safety and ability to communicate in a way that helps you to absorb the lessons that you're learning. The sixth house is the house of the way we take care of ourselves so that we can be productive. And the Queen of Swords indicates your ability to detach yourself from your emotions, to stand back and observe your behaviors and your patterns of behavior. This is very powerful, as it is a tool with which, a strategy with which you can communicate effectively with your peers and co-workers, and a way in which you are able to make what you have learned comprehensible to others so that you can share that. The seventh house is the Fool card, where you're leaping into a brand new direction and you're using these skills to develop this new audience that you're going to be working on behalf of. The eighth house shows where we're sharing resources with others, and the Three of Pentacles for me is the collaboration card par excellence. This is where we are learning and creating with others. This collaboration allows you to not only lead and follow and facilitate, but to switch those roles as you exchange ideas. The 11th house is the house of your higher consciousness. This is your highest spiritual and philosophical beliefs and the way in which you can share these with a large community. So this would typically be like higher education, publishing things on a global level in a way that shares information, and that's exactly what I see you doing here. Is the Page of Wands is very much contemplating not only the growth of a new set of values, a new set of guidelines and organizing principles, but is also looking at how those can grow in the context of this larger organization or social unit. The Nine of Swords shows you having experienced some real profound challenges in this arena. It also shows you coming out of a position in which you were forced to comply. Force is the operable word here, with things that were not for your benefit intentionally. So there's a kind of punitive vibe here, harsh consequences you received for any perceived failures that you committed. And the 11th house is the house of our larger social affiliations, our tribe memberships. However, we are associated with all the other Scorpios in the world, for instance. The Two of Swords shows you making a decision that's really coming out of the way things have always been for you. So I see extremes in your domestic foundation and your social experience as part of the larger collective, as part of a larger group, company, organization. So the Two of Swords has you balancing between these two different, very opposite experiences in some ways, and needing to make a decision, exploring these as extreme expressions or as an expression of extremes, and really needing to, here we go with the Fool card, taking a leap into unfamiliar and unexplored lands, trying something without knowing what the result is going to be. But you know the result of both these paths: domestic bliss, success, satisfaction, generosity, and a harsher, disciplined social experience where you were chastised. You may have failed utterly in the eyes of others, but you have gained many things from this experience. You've learned lessons from both sides, and it behooves you to begin to explore all the other spectrum of experience in between these two. With the energy of the Fool and Death, I see you moving there. We also have the Hierophant here, who is telling you not only to learn, to teach, but to learn. Extract the lessons from your experiences. And finally, in the 12th house, which shows us the ending, where this particular set of events is ending. And the Page of Cups kind of takes you back to your past, to the beginning of your past. This card is there's two cups here actually. But you're returning to your past to explore the things that you missed, the imagination, your innocent imaginings of your desires, the possibilities of desires that you may not have understood or gleaned, or now, in order to maximize this personal satisfaction and communal success, you are returning to explore new ways to express that, and perhaps at a new level. I'm going to pull Spellcasters, Herb Crafters Tarot, not Spellcasters, Herb Crafters Tarot card. And let's see what we can learn from this deck that speaks to the gardener and me, and hopefully to you as well. The Ace of Swords. So this is associated with the yarrow plant. Yarrow plant is a particularly beautiful plant that grows like a weed, but is so lovely and such a beneficial weed that looks like a lot of other things that are not so beneficial. So this is an interesting flower that it's associated with, that it's paired with. So it's giving us an idea about the power of our ideas, the power of our truth, the pursuit of our truth. Don't fence me in. Discernment is necessary for survival. Know your wounds. Identify your medicine. Inspiration is close, yet you may have overlooked it as ordinary or not valuable. Set feelings aside and follow the truth. Start with what you already know. Seek vision from your ancestors. Scorpio, that's what I have for you. I appreciate your presence here. Again, I'm Regina from Pacific Tarot. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Namaste.